As you can tell, my channel is more barren than a desert in the middle of summer. But that's not because I've lost my spark or anything like that. It's mainly because GTA Online sucks right now. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, the only reason I'm coming back is because Rockstar just gave away $1 million for just logging onto the game. I mean, how could I say no to that? So my guess is that Rockstar saw the player count going down and decided to bribe us to get back on the game. And clearly it's working. But the main question on my mind is, why is GTA Online dying? So to answer the question, I'm gonna go over 6 theories that I have, starting with GTA Online is just getting stale. With the release of the Money Fronts update, I honestly feel like nothing changed. Like, you know how you always get 2 updates per year? This didn't feel like an actual update because it was just more of the same old stuff, you know? It was just using older businesses that were used in story mode and kind of reusing a mechanic with the heat system, which I kind of just think of as a supply bar in most of the passive businesses that we have now. But even if we look at how much content actually got added into the game, you can see that there are only 5 missions with each of the 3 businesses, totaling to about 15 missions. Sure, that seems like a lot, right? But when you consider that these missions can be done in about 5 minutes, it's not all that impressive. And then you have the Mr. Faber work, which is basically just a contact mission ripped straight out of 2013. And there were hardly any new cars added, hardly any new content added. I mean, there was the quickie farm delivery stuff, there was the group sex thing. Like, come on, man. So basically everything else was negligible and was completely irrelevant. Like, who the hell's playing Motor Wars, right? So we just end up doing more of the same old repetitive garbage, which is actually my next theory, repetitive garbage. And what I mean by this is that we're doing the same formulaic thing every single mission, you know? You start a mission, you get a call, you hang up because realistically, who's listening to all of that dialogue? You go to point A, you kill people, you come back, and on the odd chance that you're not flying your oppressor, you maybe have to fight some people and maybe have to drive a little bit faster than you normally would. Like, it's always the same thing over and over again with these missions. Also, another thing, these missions have been out for so long that people have found the perfect way to do most of them. I mean, I recently just uploaded a Cayo Perico guide, which is like the best way to do it. And it proves that, like, most people, well, I say most people, me, I don't do missions for the fun of it, you know? I don't go to Cayo Perico looking for a good time. I'm going in, I'm getting the loot, and I'm leaving within 10 minutes because I know the best way or the most efficient way to do that heist, if that makes any sense. So I end up doing the same sort of missions in the same sort of way because it's just the most efficient way. The meta hasn't changed much recently. The meta is basically the main thing that you do to get money or get better in the game. So let me ask you a question. If you're a grinder in GTA Online, when was the last time the meta changed? When was the last time a real big change happened to the point where people were doing completely different missions? Because honestly, I'm looking back to like the end of 2021 with the release of the contract update, or maybe even the end of 2022 with the drug wars update. Because since then, there hasn't really been anything too like crazy to really change the meta of the game. And I'm gonna blame that on 2 things. One, the new missions aren't as good as older missions. You know, like, older updates had some really good missions that were fun to do and were well paying. The second reason is that old missions don't get reworked. I know sometimes Rockstar likes to up the profits that you can get from older businesses, but I feel like there's so much that they could do with older missions, you know, stuff like contact missions and stuff, right? Make the contact missions a hell of a lot harder, but then make them pay better or something along those lines, okay? Of course, I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't really know how they could revamp older missions, but that's just an idea. All I do is grind. It's pretty funny to me because I've made a video about different playstyles, and about a year ago, I made an entire series of videos about different types of players in GTA Online. So despite doing all of this, I still only do the same thing that I've been doing since 2019, since I started playing this damn game, and I'm doing the same thing. I've done everything that I want to do. So this theory is pretty self-explanatory. I've done everything that I need to do. So I've bought everything that I've want, mainly. You know, every single business in the game with all of their upgrades, the most expensive apartment in the game, the largest garage in the game, and a fuck ton of cars and planes, to the point where I don't even know what to drive half of the time. So the fact that I have have nothing to buy means I have no reason to grind for money, because what the hell am I going to do with that money? I mean, you can see I have like $46 million here. The final reason is completely personal to me, but I have more games to play, because recently I got a new Steam account and I bought a boatload of games and basically spent all of summer playing games because I just had A-levels and they were stressful as hell. So, you know, I got games like No Man's Sky, Ready or Not, Cyberpunk, Detroit Become Human, the 2 Star Wars Jedi games, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. So I've just been doing other things, but the main highlight of my summer has to be finishing GTA 5 story for the first time, but there's going to be more on that later. Anyways, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one.